right, welcome back to the Alex Helton Real Estate Show, brought to you by Rob Smith at Mortgage Investors Group. He is a fantastic resource when it comes to anything home loan related or refinance. So today we are going to be talking about a little bit of kind of what is going on in the market as things are moving and changing pretty quickly. It seems like maybe not changing, but there's kind of some gray area as to kind of where we're at. Is that fair, Alex?
I think a lot of people right now are wondering what's going on. I had shared offline that it feels the same. It's different, but it feels the same as it did when things started shutting down in Nashville in 2020. And it was like, things haven't settled. There's not this sense of like, okay, we're on this trajectory. It's like, man, what is going on in the real estate market? And we were giving updates on a weekly basis because it felt that sort of, I don't know if volatile is the right word, but it felt that unsettled, that nobody knew really what was going on. It feels a little bit like that. Interest rates have gone up significantly since the beginning of the year. There's ways to combat that. But the last 6 to 7 weeks has been, especially this last week, things feel like they've started to crank again. Mm-hmm. But the 2 weeks prior to that, it felt like it was crickets. You got interest rates and you got kids out of school for summer and people are vacationing and sort of this perfect storm of inaction. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are asking the question over the last couple of months, affordability is down with interest rates going up. What's happening in the market? Are values dropping? And almost a sense of like, man, I'm kind of freaking out because the sky's falling. Anything you pull up on the news is recession and gas prices are like $30 for a gallon. And like, the world is ending. So I'm freaking out.
Right.
Well, these things come and go. And so what we had talked about before is stay calm, look at the numbers. And for those of you that are looking to sell, like, you don't need to freak out. In fact, one of our folks that's in the middle of prepping their home, we had a conversation last week because he's reading the news and he's looking at things. And I think his words were, thanks for talking me off the ledge. And it's like, man, if I wasn't in this every day, I would feel the same way. Mm-hmm. But we are in this every day. And so it's like, look at supply and demand, look at just all these factors that feed into the market. And based on what we know, we don't think that values are dropping. We think the rate of appreciation has gone way down. And so you're seeing a lot of price reductions because people are pricing them as though the market's still cranking at 30% appreciation a year, and it's not. Mm-hmm. So we have an update on a couple of just examples from this last week that really speak to this idea of stay calm, be patient, sky's not falling, and don't freak out. Mm-hmm. And so we have listed a couple of homes for our clients that are selling, and in both of the stories are similar. And that is, we priced based on the market, so not 30% over what comps are saying. And on both of them, we did get low offers. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I think that's smart. Like, good for those buyers for making low offers.
What's the worst they can say? No.
We've talked about offline that this market right now, there are sharks in the water looking for blood. And there are going to be people that out of fear sell under what they could.
Mm-hmm. I've talked to some people who have said, this feels like the time for me to find a bunch of deals out there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start making low offers.
Yeah. Try
to take advantage of some of, maybe we say, uncertainty in the market.
Yeah.
People aren't quite sure what's going to happen.
Yep.
We've talked about that in previous episodes, and you mentioned it already. But there is this feeling among some people that are looking to buy. Now's the time to get a deal. And we've seen some of those low offers come in. People trying to get a deal.
And you're not going to get a deal, that's relative, but you're not going to get a deal because the market is going down. Mm-hmm. To me, that's really important to understand if I'm selling my home or if I'm thinking about buying. You're not going to get a deal like you could in 2010 where everything is a deal. That's not the case. You're looking for these. If you're trying to get a deal, and like that's fine, like go ahead and make some lowball offers because you'll probably get some takers. So again, don't freak out, stay calm, be patient. If you're priced according with the market and you're looking at your competition and you're seeing what's going on. And so in both of these situations, we got, gosh, what would be considered in the last 2 years, like insanely low offers. One was 45,000 low, one was 40 low.
Both about in the 10% range under listing. They were in the 500 or 600 range, so it's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, so 45 and 40,000. And man, I think this isn't a shameless plug for our team, but it's a plug for agents that know what they're doing and know what's going on. And that is, there's a lot of agents that would be like, take it while you can.
In both cases, one offer on the home.
One offer.
We're not competing here. So we've got one offer.
Yep.
What do we do with one offer? It's low.
Yeah. So I think an experienced agent would say, take it while you can. It's probably the best you're going to get. It's the only one we got. But you have to go look out there and go, okay, where are these buyers going to go? And are they going to get something that's more attractive for the same price? And when the answer is no, you just be patient. Either, even if you counter, I'm a big advocate of countering, even if it's at list price. Like, stay in the game. Drives me nuts when people won't counter. It's like, to me, you're not wanting to sell your home if you're not willing to counter. Like, counter at list price then, that's fine. So one, we got it. And the other one, we countered back at a very reasonable, just slightly under list, and they took it. So my interpretation of that, honestly, is that by being patient, our clients save themselves $75,000 between the two situations. So that's the takeaway for this video for you guys is if you're looking to sell in the next, few months or know somebody that is, if you have a friend or your mom and dad's thinking about selling, tell them to stay patient and stay calm and don't freak out. The sky's not falling. Let them know that as well.
It does speak to the importance of trusting your agent.
Yeah.
And somebody with experience who has. A lot of people got into real estate in the last couple of years, which is kind of always the case. There's always a lot of people getting into real estate. Someone that has only ever been in a market where you put a home on.
Have you ever met anybody that at least doesn't have their real estate license?
Pretty much everybody except me. I think I'm the only person I know that doesn't have their real estate license.
Everybody is either thinking about it or is in it.
Yep. So
it seems.
But if you don't have the experience of having a listing that doesn't sell the first weekend, like the first day with multiple offers, which is where we've been for a while.
Yeah.
We're in new territory for those people.
Yep.
And so having an agent with broader experience who's been around the block a little bit is really valuable. And we are starting to see, as we talked about in one of our previous, the market normalizing, which is a listing may stay on for 4 days.
Right.
The market that we've come out of, it may feel like you have to have patience to stay on the market for 4 days without price reducing. But having an agent you can trust with the experience to go, hey, let's let it breathe for a minute.
Yeah.
Because we're okay.
We're all right.
And what you said about, can this buyer go somewhere else and get a better home
you gotta
at the same price or a comparable home for cheaper?
Yeah.
Like, that's really powerful. And I think it's probably one of the most important factors. So again, having an agent that's actually in tune to the market, really important. So any other thoughts or takeaways you want to share before we wrap this one up, Alex?
That's it. Hire somebody you trust.
Cool. Well, guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you prefer to listen, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, rate, review. We appreciate it, and share it with someone who you think may find this valuable. And we'll talk to you next time.
See you guys.